All right, we are going to be working on dimensioning your redesigned cow catcher. I have this pulled up here because I think this will be helpful as you're kind of working on your dimensioning, just to see what dimensions were all included. So keep this in mind when you are dimensioning, because in order to build the cow catcher correctly, we needed all of this information. So like the location of the peg here, um, the like width, the height, the depth, the distance from the side to the peak here. So I think this will be helpful as you're dimensioning it. All right, so then go to Onshape and open up your redesigned cow catcher. I'm not going to go through how to dimension the whole thing. I'm just kind of going to help you get started a little bit with putting the views in and a couple of the dimensioning things. So if you followed along with Mr. Herman's video, which I did when I made my cow catcher, your cow catcher is going to be in the same orientation as mine is. And so when you put your views in the drawing file, your front view is going to look like this, but we don't want our front view, that to be our front view. That's not the correct front view, I would say. So, whoops. We want our front view, I would say, to be this, which is actually the top. Okay? The top, but upside down, the top upside down. So, I'm going to show you how in your drawing to get it to be this view. So down in the lower left-hand corner, go down to the plus sign, and we're going to create drawing. Just doing the A-inch template. I'm going to rename this. Mention cow catcher. And go to your redesigned cow catcher. Okay, and put that in there. And then hit escape. Okay, so we want to adjust this front view here. So right click on it and go to view properties. And so like I said, we actually want the top view, but we want this to be rotated because mine is upside down. If yours isn't, then that's great. We want it to be rotated 180 degrees. Okay. So top view, rotation angle 180, and hopefully that works for you. If it doesn't, you probably didn't follow his video then, and so you might need to do something different. But all right, now we are going to project the views. So you select the view you want to project, and then it will give you, so that's going to be our top view now. Select the front view again, and we're going to do something a little different with this one. So in addition to these 4 views that we usually do, the front, top, right, and isometric, we're going to do the back view just because I think that'll be helpful when we're dimensioning the pegs. And so now hit escape, and then right click on the isometric. We always want that to be shaded. And then, all right, so then again, you're going to dimension. Before we do that, I guess, let's put center marks on our circles. And then we want to do, so we're going to dimension. And so like, just keep in mind, we always want like the overall width. Okay, and you always want the biggest dimension, the overall dimension, to be farthest away from the object, because then you're going to put the smaller dimensions in between. So biggest one should always be farthest away, because then you'll put the smaller dimensions, you know, inside. All right, and so then we also would want like the height. Like the height here. And try to put your number so it's in between these lines. Those are called extension lines. So that's our width, height. There's more I would need to do here, and more potentially here. I'm just kind of getting you started. And then it's like the depth. This would be the depth of the cow catcher. Probably need, you know, either this would also be the depth. So if I do that here, that would also be 1 inch, like from here to here. But so we don't want to do that because that would be the same. And like, you know, the length of this line here. So that kind of gets you started. We need to know how big the pegs are, dimensioning the pegs. Like I said, if you refer back to this drawing, it should kind of help you with what you need to dimension. The last piece I'm going to show you, so besides doing the center marks that we did on the circles, you're going to want to dimension the chamfer. So you go up here, select chamfer dimension. You're going to need to zoom in and click the, oh boy, need to select it again. Click the chamfer, and then you need to click a reference edge. And so in this case, we're going to do this side here to reference from. And then zoom back out and place that there. And if you if you check back, so that again it would be a good idea to always look back and make sure you even made this correctly. But if you look at the chamfer there, it says 0.01 times 45. The TYP means typical, meaning all of those chamfers on all the pegs are the same. So that's, and you see the TYP here, because again, it's meaning that it's the same. So anywhere where you see the TYP, that's something you're going to want to do. So we can add, if I hit escape here, add, double click on that. Let's see here, maybe not. Let's try edit. Let's see. I don't want it as a prefix. Okay. So if you double click on the dimension, we can add the TYP to that. You can add, I wish with this one we could add it to after, but that's okay. But again, or I could put ×3 on this to show that there's three pegs, but using the reference dimensions as well. So if you look at the rubric, it says dimensioning here. If you read the website, if you look at the website, I just want you to do it to the dimensioning it to the best of your ability. This is more going to be just a completion, did you do it, type of thing. So if you want to get a higher score, first of all, you know, how much thought and creativity you put into dimensioning your cow catcher. And then a 4 would be like if you really did a well executed dimensioned drawing file. But to get a 3, I'm more just did you attempt to dimension it and try to do it. So I know dimensioning is tricky. Just try your best.